All right. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about the benefits package. I'm just stoked. I think it's really cool. I think there's a lot of awesome benefits. The 5 star. When my talking to the people above me, and letting them know it was super exciting, and they're stoked about it. So
Well, that's awesome that you're so excited about it.
yeah.
I was re-looking through the slides today, and my rep also pointed out to me that on one of the slides talked about the 5 star rating.
Hmm.
That one is actually not correct, and so
Really?
I wanted to make sure you knew that. It's totally my fault. I should have made sure that was changed. We've actually been at a 3 star rating for the past like 1 or 2 years.
Wow, really? What happened? You just didn't update it?
Yeah, I did not update it. I am sorry about that. Um, we still offer all the same exact promotions and packages. The premium platinum package that you're going for, that you wanted, it's still amazing. And it still offers all the different travel, all expense paid. But I'm sorry that was not the right information for you.
So what makes it 3 stars? Like, what are people saying about it?
What are they saying about it? That's
Yeah.
a good question. And I think you deserve the complete answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to make excuses, but 5% of the reason why they're 3 stars is because there was a hurricane that happened a year ago, and so the experience was terrible. But for most of the part of the reasons of why is because the packages did not include more opportunities for the people to make their own choices during the vacation. There was like set times for them to go do things.
Yeah.
And so we're working through that for them. And we're trying to get back to that 5 star rating.
Okay.
Is that what you're most concerned about with this? I know you're probably like, it was 5, now it's 3.
I mean, obviously, it's very important to me to know that other customers that have done it in the past are actually, enjoying it too. That it's not just kind of fluff, but it's actually like they really enjoyed it, and that there's no better views, because it kind of shows me and it shows the people above me that I've been talking to in the company that it really is an awesome package for my sales reps. And so I think that plays a role, the amount of stars and reviews that it has. I mean, it can fluctuate, but I think that's really important for letting other people know.
Yeah, and I definitely wanted to make sure that was clear between us. That we want it to be a 5 star package, and we're trying to regain our ratings. Right now, it's sitting at a 3, and we want to make sure that your reps have the best experience because they're top performers. They deserve something that's the best,
Yeah.
and that has like the best experience for them. What could we do to help ease your mind on, our ratings aren't where you thought they were going to be, but our package deal is still the same as what we sent you for the list of what it includes.
Yeah. I think it's just about kind of meeting my needs, meeting the needs of not just me, but my reps and what I think that they would like and enjoy, and what my managers think that the sales reps would enjoy. So I just want to make sure that those are being solved and those are being answered, and that there's no, confusion, and that we're pretty honest, because I feel like, obviously with you telling me that it was 5 stars, now it's 3, and it's been a couple of years since you've updated it, it kind of doesn't really help with the trust factor of making a deal with you guys. I mean, obviously that kind of plays a role, and so that definitely worries me a little bit. And now I can tell other people that the higher ups that it's not what they thought it was.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with me. It's definitely a very strong, valid concern that you have.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what we're doing on our side to make it 5 stars, and you can tell me if you'd like what else you would like us to do to help get there again.
Okay.
Because we want the best for you and for your employees. Like I mentioned, it was too structured for the vacation package that we were offering when the reps got there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to work with the people over there in Hawaii and Puerto Rico with the different hotels and restaurants, that these things can be optional and that they only get paid when those reps go there. So they have so much more flexibility going there now.
Okay.
And since that's just been a recent change that we're making right now, the ratings aren't coming in yet. We're hoping that once the majority of the reps that are experiencing this new vacation package experience, they can rate it better.
So you're saying that like the other package, or the current package that I'm on?
The current package you're on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess what is something that you can do for me to kind of ease my mind on that? I mean, I know that you say that you're improving these things, but it's kind of hard to like trust and to know for a fact that's happening, especially with the 3 stars. And so, is there any way you can kind of help us, create that trust again, and or have something that in place that helps us to know, give us more of a benefit to that package that you are offering, if that makes sense.
So if I understood you, you want more of a kind of like a lifeline to say this is going to be a good experience, even though it's rated 3 stars and not 5.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Like, I want to make sure that even though that's the case, and I'm not saying like you're making excuses, but you can all day long about why it's 3 stars versus 5, and I can say to trust you or not. I can believe you, but I think having those things set in stone and make sure that like this is gonna happen, and maybe you could give us like the ratings on the certain hotels that you're changing, that you're picking, that's making it a better experience. Just kind of easing our minds why it's 3 stars versus 5. And I think with that too, is there any way you could give us a discount on if we do stay with that package? Is there anything you could do for us that in that sense with like discounts?
Yeah, concerning discounts, one of the things that we're doing with all of the people that want to still stay with our package for premium is when the reps go, if they do not rate a 5-star, don't say this was like a super awesome experience, then we offer a 40% discount on what you guys paid.
Oh, wow.
Rep. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that actually eased my mind a little bit more, because that makes me feel like, if it does happen, I don't have to worry about it, and I get a 40% off. If it's like 3 or 4 stars, which I would hope, and I'm sure you would hope that it's 5 stars.
Yeah, of course.
And so
that's why it's such a high discount.
Yeah, that actually eases my mind quite a bit. That makes me feel a lot better for sure.
Yeah. We're glad that helps you out a little bit. With our experience though, as well as with the discount, we're trying to make sure that when they leave reviews that we answer what they did. Like, oh, that was awesome. So we say, cool, it was awesome. But if it wasn't good, we kind of help get some understanding of why it wasn't good. And then we offer the premium package additional for your company if someone said it wasn't good, and make those changes so that it's always top notch. And it's not just this person says it was bad, and now it's the same thing.
So essentially we could stay on, and if some of my reps say that it's like 3 stars or something like that, they would have to be more specific on why, so you guys could improve that and make it better for our future experiences.
Same price for the premium package, but we'll just make it more improved so that you still have a great experience for those reps that are top qualifiers.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that sounds. I understand why you would do that, and actually, appreciate that, because you can really make a difference and really change what's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think with all that said, I think we can maybe still work with you guys to make it happen with the premium package. I think that's even though it's not really a 5-star, I think with that discount, if it's really not a 5-star for us personally, for our company, that seems like a great deal. So
okay, well, I'm glad that we were able to work something out. And like I said, I apologize that it wasn't completely clear with the 5 and the 3, and we're going to do as much as we can to make sure that for your company it is a 5-star.
Okay.
So you can have the best experience. And if there's ever anything else that crosses your mind that you were thinking of about either the experience or the pricing, just let me know. Let my pricing agent know, and we can get that worked out for you.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Samantha.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, still going. Okay, so then. All right. How's it going today? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had a great sell with Target. It was great.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. I mean, how did that go? How did that play out for you guys, or for you specifically?
Yeah, we got the sale. They loved the presentation. They're super excited about how much they could sell and how much they could improve with our product, and I think they're gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean that's an amazing company, right?
Yeah.
I mean Target, it's huge, but you're pretty stoked about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's not a lot of people that really can say, "Oh, I got a Target account."
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's pretty cool. That's way awesome. I noticed that also you had mentioned to me that you had to fluff the numbers a little bit. Is that true?
I just kind of use more of the expected numbers we foresee in the future as the kind of what we're getting now.
Mm-hmm.
And Target's such a big company, like we're saying,
that they're going to hit those numbers no matter what, because they're so good at selling things. Everyone's like, Target's a nice place. They get what they want there. Good experience overall. So.
I mean, would you say that it's like, could you go up to them and tell them like you're 100% going to make these sales, or is that kind of pretty sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, could you go up to them and tell them that they're going to for sure make those amount of sales, or is it?
I don't think anyone I could say you're for sure going to make these amount of sales. Like if their sales reps screw up or if they don't work hard, they're not going to make it, even if we had like the top product everywhere. But I'm pretty sure they could make those sales if they work hard.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious as to kind of why you fluff the numbers. And I mean, just for my own sake, I was just kind of curious.
Mm-hmm.
What would like? How come you did that? Has someone taught you about that, or did you just kind of learn it on your own? How come you thought of fluffing numbers to target?
It's a good question. I'm way more sure of myself in reaching my sales for my accounts, which is super awesome. I stay at the top. Other people at the top, I know have done that before. And so if I stay at the top, maybe I'll get to the top one day. I think it's easy, and they're going to make the numbers. So it's not like I'm going to tell them this and they're not going to make it. It's not like a complete lie.
I mean, it's possible, right? I mean,
anything's possible.
Yeah.
I could tell them exactly what they're going to get, and they could sink the boat.
Yeah. I mean, so you said that people that like the manager, the higher ups, that you've heard of people fluffing numbers. Do you know specific people, or is it like, do you know?
There was a VP about 4 years ago, and he had talked to me before, and he'd mentioned that he had done that, and that's where he got him. He doesn't work here anymore. I don't know if you knew him. His name was Josh Haywood.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I knew him a little bit, and I didn't work directly with him, but I mean, I can understand that. I just had a question for you about something that I was thinking about before you came in.
Mm-hmm.
If it was if Target came to you and the sides were kind of flipped, or if you were working for Target and a sales rep came to you to talk about specific numbers, how would you feel if that situation was flipped? If you were kind of getting told these fluff numbers and you were getting excited because you thought that you could make these sales and do all of this, but they were more kind of like pretty. They're more farther advanced projections that may or may not work. How would you feel about that if the roles were flipped?
And I knew that they were fluff, or I didn't know.
If you knew they were fluffed, if you found out somehow that the sales rep came to you and he was fluffing numbers a little more than what you had expected, or what he expected, how would you feel about that?
Not good.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to be? I mean, it's not like you're specifically lying to them, right? I mean, I'm not saying you are either, and so it's more just kind of. Okay, we're not necessarily telling them like full transparency. We're not being like super open with them. Would you say that you were, or you might maybe more like not necessarily completely transparent? How would you kind of rate that?
That's a good question. I wasn't transparent with exactly what was happening right now with our company and the numbers that they could meet, but like I said, that was our further projections that we've hit all our previous projections, so I'm just guessing that's what they could do.
Yeah. And so with you, I mean, it was interesting that you say that it wouldn't feel good, right? If Target ever found out, if they came and they somehow figured out the numbers and they realized that when you had talked to them that the numbers were like a little more fluff than what they thought they could do and what you told them that they could do. And they ended up not being super happy with us. What do you think they would do in that situation? Do you think they would still go with us, or what do you think would happen?
Depending on what we could tell them after that.
and that's what do you think we would tell them after that?
I don't know, maybe we could say something like, "These were our numbers. Maybe there was something that you guys didn't look into enough that could have made you reach those numbers. I mean, it doesn't always have to be our fault."
Yeah. So it's interesting that you say. So, how do you feel about accountability with when you're speaking to people and you're making sales? What do you think about when you think of accountability? Like, is that super important when you're making sales?
I feel like it's important that we get the customer what they want,
Yeah,
being accountable for what we say they get.
yeah. Why is it important to have accountability and to be super transparent with people and with people that we talk to and make sales with?
Um, I don't know.
Is it important in a sales call or in a negotiation? Do you think those two things are vital to creating a relationship with people that we negotiate with?
I've read about it and heard that it is. I've seen lots of success getting the customer what they want to hear, and then they usually reach what I tell them. I guess accountability could be important in some way. I don't know.
Is that important to you? Like I know you mentioned a little bit about it, but do you think like being super transparent, honest, and building relationships and having that accountability in the negotiations, do you feel like that like those few things are important to have? I mean, you said you've read about them and you've like heard, but do you think it'd be important to incorporate?
They could be if I knew I was going to hit my quotas. A lot of times, if you're accountable and you tell them where we are at right now, maybe it's not what they're expecting, and then you don't, get the number. But if you tell them where we could be and where we're projected to be further down, you get it because we look good.
So that's interesting you said that. So when you're in a negotiation, you're in that situation, and if you were the flip side again, would you want to hear a specific? So for instance, if you said, I know you can make 1,000 sales this month, versus saying, I know you can make 5,000 sales this month. What do you think Target would feel if they exceeded and they made 5,000 sales when you told them you can make 1,000, versus saying you can make 1,000 and they made 1,000? How do you think you would feel as part of Target? How do you think they would feel? Which
if
one
I
would you like
exceeded
more?
it,
Yeah, which one would you like more? The one that you told them, I know you can make 1,000 and they made 5,000, or I know you can make 5,000 and you made 5,000. What would you like more?
if I told them you could make 1,000 and made 5,000.
And why do you think that's why? Why do you think that would be the case?
Because it's better than what you hoped for or what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So do you think that'd be an interesting thing to tell Target maybe, instead of maybe tell them what they want to hear, because of course they want to hear, oh, you're gonna make 5,000. But imagine if you said, oh, you'll make 1,000, and then they make 5,000 in the end, and then they're like, oh wow, this company, they are not. They're basically going to tell us one thing, and they know that we can make that, and maybe we can exceed that. We want to work with them even more and use them more, and they're not going to tell us we can make something when maybe we can't. Or, I mean, you mentioned already that you think it'd be way better to tell them 1,000 and they make 5,000. So how would you feel about telling them that and letting them know maybe the numbers that you told them previously, maybe they were exaggerated a little bit farther? What would you say about going back and meeting with them and telling them, I think more realistically we can do this and we can make this work, because if they exceed that, it'd be even way better for them, right? It'd make you look way better because they sold way more than what you had projected. And I mean, what would you think about that?
I think you bring up an interesting point. If I went back though and told them that, if they went above 1,000, it's like you already told me I could reach 5,000. So now I don't know if it worked the same way that you're saying. Because I told them they could hit 5, and I said no, you can only hit 1, and then you surpass it and say they get to 5. I really told them before they could hit 5. And what if the person, now they don't want my account, and the person that the other sales rep from such and such company said they can reach 2,000, and so now my 1,000 looks like, their 2,000 from the other company's like, wow, I want to go with them instead.
That's an interesting point. So going back to that, what would happen if they actually made it 1,500, and the guy said 2,000? He actually is underneath that projection.
Mhm.
How would you feel then?
Well, I'd feel good. I'd feel really good. But there's so many variables with all these different people. Like, what if this? What if this? I don't know if I can just go back and base my, hey, it didn't really tell you the right thing. It's really 1,000 on just some what ifs.
Yeah, because I mean, projections are a whole bunch of what ifs. It's not like we can tell them for a fact you're going to make 5,000.
Mhm.
But if we know from past projections and things that we've already done calculations for, especially for target, and we can tell them we know for a fact they'll make 1,000, that'll look better for us if they make a little bit over that. If they exceed it even more, even greater, that's even better for us, and it shows that our product is even better. And so we can go back and forth all day, and we can talk about this, about the importance of it and the ethics behind it, and being honest. But I think going back, you've mentioned that you would love to tell them 1,000 because if they exceeded it. So how do you think we could go back and tell them that? I know that you mentioned that it might not look good, but how would you think, like positively, what could we do to tell them in a positive way? Just hypothetically, what do you think we could do?
I could say that the projections were miscalculated and that 1,000 is really where we're sure you can reach this quarter with our product or something like that.
And do you think they'd be upset about that? Do you think they'd be like really mad if you told them, what the numbers actually portrayed versus like what you projected in a lot farther than what you said before?
They're pretty nice. I don't know if they'd be mad, but they might not be like sure if like this is the right way to go with our company.
Do you think it would benefit us more to be upfront about the numbers and more transparent than just sticking with what we had before, especially because it's such a big client and we can potentially have years and years of deals with them?
Yeah.
How do you think? How important do you think that is to kind of start it out right?
It's probably really important for the long run, but like for this quarter, if I want to stay at the top, I gotta get this one. I gotta be sure so I can meet my quota and everything. If I don't get it, this could not be very good.
What can I do to help you make that deal? Is there anything I can do to maybe and to go back and tell them it's 1,000 versus 5,000? What can I do to help you with that? To make that deal, to make our quota still, and to retain that relationship with them. Is there anything I can do to help with that?
I don't know. I'm just worried about meeting my quota.
Yeah, and if I can make it work, if I can help you out in any way, and still keep the quota and make sure we can make those numbers, is there anything that you think of that I could do to retain, go back and tell them 1,000 at target and retain that, deal that we made with them? Is there anything I can do to help you on that?
Maybe I could just talk it through with you to see. Like, it's always better to have a different person's mind. If I say what I'm going to say to them, how it portrays to you as if you were them.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I also have something else that we can maybe do.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do that. So I don't know when your meeting is. Is it this week?
Yeah.
With them again?
Mm-hmm. Friday.
Okay, cool. So if we come together on Thursday and we talk about this, we meet together, we kind of explain. You try to talk to me about like almost like you would tell them, back to like the projections back to 1,000. We can kind of talk it over again. And then how about I go with you? What would you feel about that? How would you feel about me going with you to make sure this deal is closed and we meet the quota and we retain that relationship? How do you feel about that? Or would you rather go alone?
No, I think having somebody else there would really help.
Okay.
If I'm gonna make that big of a change.
And it's a huge deal, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll still have all the commission, you'll have everything yourself. I just want to make sure that we close this deal and make sure that the principle behind it is also met, that we understand the importance of being honest and being clear. And I hope that you'll see that through that they'll stay with us and we'll retain that relationship and you'll be able to do that with future deals as well. So how do you feel about doing that? Meet Thursday and then I go with you Friday and we can close this deal.
Let's do it.
All right.
I hope we can do that.
All right, I know we can. I know we can make it work. So I appreciate you understanding and listening and being willing to do that. So
Okay.
all right, so we'll meet back
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.